Live. Can anyone hear me? Folks, I got cut off some way, and we're back on the air. You can hear me now. Okay, guys, sorry about that. You know what happened was I thought I had it set to not take phone calls or anything like that, and I received a phone call and it just knocked me right off the air. Uh, and I'm glad to be back. So yeah, we were talking about the show last night, and Michelle Lipscomb, yo yo, loud and clear now. Uh, you know, they keep changing things on your phone where when you try to just go silent, or you know, block incoming calls and all that stuff as you go live. But it changed. Ron Howe, all better now. I'm glad you're back, native New Yorker chick. Um, so 54 in the chat. We're coming back. We're coming back. So I'm down here in Jupiter, Florida, guys. It's not that warm out, but it's still beautiful. Um, native Yorker chick, Francesca, rookie Q. Could the unharmed roommates be considered victims as well? Also, Black Ram at 3 a.m. Yeah, I mean, I think that the unharmed roommates on the first floor could certainly be traumatized, but you know, in a case like this, they got to consider themselves very, very, very lucky to not have been murdered like the other four students. It's it's baffling on this. Jason Lockery, Sergeant Bill, what is your favorite Beatles album? I think Revolver is my favorite Beatles album. You guys all know I'm a big Beatles fan. Like, that goes back such a long time, you know. I remember as a kid watching the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. S. Rodriguez, yeah, you fixed it. Elizabeth Gregory, hello. Sel, good to see everyone. 109, 84 back in the chat. So, Culture of Ghosts, everyone loves Revolver. Yes, everyone does love that. And BB2, hello. So guys, I think Duty Ron is going to have, tomorrow night, he's going to have Barbara Butcher on his show, which she's always, she's a favorite of everyone. She's such a great guest. And I think he's going to have himself and Tannen with Cannon. The king is back. Love it, love it. Gemma McDonald, Bill, since it takes extreme rage to commit knife, you kind of harbor rage for years and out of nowhere get revenge, or is it usually triggered by a recent event? You know, both of those are true. You know, can someone harbor rage for years? Yeah. But I would think it was something more recent. In the very beginning of this investigation, they said that this case was personal and targeted. Since that, they haven't spoken about that much. And we spoke last night on the show. Elizabeth Gregory, it seems very personal. Personal, yes, I agree with you. Totally personal. We spoke about it last night again, and many folks think that would DNA show characteristics of killer like hair color, sex, health, all of that stuff. They can determine all of that stuff through DNA. Characteristics of the person. Francesca, need t-shirts, Supreme Commander t-shirts or Police Off the Cuff t-shirts? So guys, December 21st, we know that this happened on November 13th. We're talking about, of course, the Idaho killings. And I don't know at this point, and many of us investigators that have been covering this case, we don't know what direction the Moscow police are going in. Do they have an investigation? Do they have a direction? Do they have a suspect that they're targeting? or they're still digging through all kinds of tips. They're still working on the evidence. Lieutenant Pete's in the chat. Good to see you, Lieutenant Pete. Medic Grant, I did a 23andMe test with a buccal swab like a cheek swab of saliva, and 23andMe was able to describe me perfectly. Wow, that's amazing. Those ancestor sites, 23andMe. I was going to suggest that on this case, if they have unidentifiable DNA that's not identified, that they should do an Ancestry.com or a familial DNA check. And potentially it could be identified that way, because we said that there's a good chance that this DNA, if they do have unidentified DNA, that it's not in the CODIS database. So that's a good chance. Schmitty, I'm back, but buffering, I can't understand it right now. I usually have perfect reception in this yard here. Anyone else having problems hearing me, or that I'm buffering right now? Let me know on the screen if you are. Go find me. No, the genealogy guy was a great guest. You know, Eric Schubert, yes, great. That kid's great. I did ask him to come on in regards to this case. And for now, he turned me down. I'll still ask him. I'll still ask him in the future, because the kid is amazing. And there's a lot of other genealogy buffs out there that do this type of work. And potentially, that could help in this case. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Eric Schubert. He's on LinkedIn if you guys want to. And then if you want to connect with him on LinkedIn, I know he has a website. Schmitty, do I think the perpetrator is being harbored? I don't believe so. I think this horrendous crime is a secret to the perpetrator, only to him. I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think he's out there talking about it to other people. Elizabeth Gregory, wish I was in Florida. Well, that's where I am right now. 172 in the chat, 60 with the thumbs up. Francesca, it's concerning that the bedrooms in police body cam show empty bedrooms and just, did you say golf clubs? Hello, culture of ghosts out there. Guys, if you're on here and you're not subscribed to Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories, please go on our YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and ring that bell. And if you want to support us, we have a Patreon with 3 different levels. And we also have a YouTube club channel memberships. Our YouTube memberships, you see the folks in the green font, they're part of our YouTube family. I think I've been talking too much. I feel like I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. Nanny Julie, do you think he's scared and worried, or do you think he's happy now with all the hoo-ha? I think he's probably scared and worried, and following the case on media, following the case on YouTube, following the case in the broadcast media, because every day there's broadcasts on this. Whether it's old stuff or new stuff, it's out there, Just me, Police Off the Cuff, in your view, is there someone out there who checks all the boxes? I can't really say. I'd have to be on the inside of this investigation to know that. And I'm not on the inside. I'm on the outside looking in. So I don't know specifically what they have. If I did, I could maybe make a better educated guess. Again, a lot of this stuff is a guess. Agatha Marsalek, the killer may be a loner, weirdo, was little to no clothes, need the file. True. Well, if the Moscow police and the Idaho State Police, if the FBI have a solid suspect on this case. They're keeping a very close eye on this person. They're they're they, they may not, if they do have a suspect, then they may not have the evidence to go after this person, so they don't want to show their hand and grab this person. But if they do have a solid suspect, they could be surveilling that person, keeping that person under a watchful eye, finding everything they can about this person before they make a move, you know. And I don't know at this point. Pauline Buckles, do I think the white Hyundai is a red herring now? No, I don't. I think that the white Hyundai is still very, very important in this investigation. I think that very much potentially could be, again, I'm being very careful, could be the perpetrator's car. I don't think they would have put as much emphasis on it if it was a witness car. I think it is potentially the perpetrator's car. Corey Reeves' car is the key. I agree with you, Corey. I think it potentially is the perpetrator's car. So finding it's going to be tough, right? Finding it's going to be tough. You would think whoever owns this car, if it is the perpetrator, he'll have cleaned it up. He'll have went through the car with bleach and all kinds of stuff to try to clean out all kinds of evidence out of the car. So it's a tough, it's a needle in a haystack, you know. Or was this car, which is a bigger potentiality, was this car stolen? Is it a stolen car? So then it wouldn't come back to the perpetrator. But if it was stolen, we would have reports of all stolen white Hyundais, and I would think the Moscow police, the FBI, and the Idaho State Police would check that out through their databases, you know. Maybe the perp isn't alive anymore, like Brian Laundrie. That's always a possibility. Andy the Gabby Cabby, good to see you, buddy. 241 in the chat, 97 with the thumbs up. Thank you guys for coming by today. We were talking about last night's show. If you haven't seen last night's show, it's still available on YouTube. You could watch it. I thought it was a really excellent show. We had Jennifer Koffendorfer on the show. Mike Geary, Professor Mike Geary. And of course, Phil Grimaldi, straight out of Brooklyn, Phil Grimaldi. And I really implore you to watch the show. I thought it was one of our better shows that we've done in a while. And I think maybe in a case that's not getting many new points of view, I think we came up with some Schmitty boasting with Bill. Bill, it was fabulous. Well, thank you so much, Schmitty. Lieutenant Pete liked it. 249 in the chat, 108 with the thumbs up. Andy the Gabby Cabby watched it today. Cheated no more, doesn't bleach, destroy car more. You think someone that killed somebody and left blood in the car is worrying about destroying the rugs? I don't think so. I think their main goal would be to get rid of the blood out of the car, you know. Iron Stealth 2.0. I watched her show today, and it was great. Well, thank you so much. Matty Boy Sully, Moonlight View. I'm seeing a lot of new names here, guys. If you're new to this channel, go on our YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and ring that bell. Ring my bell, ring my bell. Yeah, I mean, there's been so many different angles to this case, but I think that it's Mary Ricketts. Brian Enton was on duty, Ron. Great insight. Brandon just subbed. Thank you, Brandon. Rona Page, I don't think the killer got in a car at all. Rona, that's a possibility. He could have walked through the woods and gotten out of the area unseen at that time of night, not caught on video camera, not caught in a vehicle. I what I would think is that if he walked through the woods to a car parked at a location that was away from the house. That I think is more probable. Uh, Go find me. Love seeing you guys on the ID channel. Thank you. It's amazing. We probably did that 5 or 6 years ago, and it's still being played on Investigation Discovery. The perfect murder for you guys that haven't seen it, you know. Um, so, guys, I want everyone to have a wonderful holiday. I know it's tough to really concentrate on the holiday season with this horrific case on all of our minds. And we're hoping that some huge piece of evidence will come out soon. And that piece of evidence is going to lead toward identifying someone. And that's all we can hope for. Mary Mackley, I think he walked to the car through the greenery, very particular. Yeah, I think on November 13th, there wasn't any snow on the ground, as I recall. We saw later on that there was snow. Remember when they moved all the cars away? And the picture of the house with where all the cars were parked, you could see there was no snow, indicating where the cars were parked. Yeah, it was sort of a sad picture, you know, a really sad photo. Again, we're all hoping for good news in this case. Amethyst Kingdom, happy holidays. Schmitty, yeah, it took them so long to remove the car. Absolutely. Longer than it probably should have, you know. You know, not being boots on the ground. Good point. How did he get out without any trace of blood? Crazy. Sono Kim. I agree. I don't know, and we don't know if he got out of there without any trace of blood. We're not privy to all the evidence that the police have. Potentially the killer could have left a blood trail, and just that we don't know about it. Aurora Knight, Merry Christmas from Alaska, Mr. Bill. Thank you. Mr. Bill, of course, goes back to the era of Saturday Night Live. Remember the Mr. Bill skit? It was so damn funny, you know. Brent Montgomery, bloody shoe prints. Yeah, I would think there has to be bloody shoe prints inside the house, but were the police offering that up? No. They didn't tell anyone. Did the police offer up that there was a bloody trail leading out of the house? No. They didn't tell anyone. So it comes to make sense that the only ones that would know whether there was a bloody trail or bloody footprints would be the police. Sandra Williams, you remember Mr. Bill? Yeah, it was a funny skit on Saturday Night Live. So guys, this is Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories, Coffee with Cannon, Backyard Beverage, Bitchin' with Bill. It's a little bit different than our other show, but I enjoy sitting here and speaking to you guys from all over the damn world. 294 in the chat, 133 with the thumbs up. I want to welcome all you new people, all the people that I'm just seeing new names in our chat from all over the world. It's so great to see you. Corey Reeves, oh no, Mr. Bill, Mr. Bill. And they would set him on fire. Remember, they would set him on fire with lighter fluid. If you had a sick sense of humor like me, can you hear me now, guys? No sound. Oh my God. Guys, I'm going to have to say goodbye. Oh, good? You're hearing me again? Okay. You know, I need to set this, sound is back? All right, guys, the sound is back. 311 in the chat, 143 with the thumbs up. I had it figured out how to block phone calls coming in. Now I'm getting phone calls and it's knocking me off the air. I'm back on. I'm so happy to be back on. I didn't want us running out of here again. Good now. That's great. I'm probably just going to, I'm at 20 minutes. I'll probably just do a half hour today. I just wanted to speak with you guys and talk to you about last night's show. And if you saw it, uh, it's, if you haven't seen it, I'd implore you to go on our YouTube and check it out. Jennifer Coffendorfer, Mike Geary, uh, Megs Jocko. He could have brought it in a backpack, put his shoes and bloody clothes in it. You know, that's all a possibility. Would someone that just slaughtered 4 people have the forethought to do that? You know, people even mentioned, oh, maybe he wore like a Tyvek suit that covered up all his clothing and got out of there and then threw all of that stuff away. Is that a distinct possibility? Yeah, it's a distinct possibility, but Mary McElveen, I love Jennifer Coffendorfer. I think she's great. Hopefully, I'm going to have her on a lot more often in 2023. She's always welcome. I like Lisa Lockwood a lot. I want to have her on more in 2023. And I'd also like to get Barbara Butcher on this channel because she is one of my favorites. I worked with her when I was in Manhattan North Homicide Squad. She's fantastic. Andy the Gabby Cabby, she did a show with Duty Ron and spoke about self-defense for women. So Andy the Gabby Cabby, you can pull that up on Duty Ron's channel, and it's a hell of a good show. Mr. T Dubs, she's amazing. Possibilities versus prob won't know until the police solve this case for sure. We're all hoping, guys, that that an arrest is imminent. I don't know if it is. We're hoping and praying that it's around the corner. We're rooting for the Moscow police. Some people get mad. Mary Ricketts, sound check. I'm live. I'm on the air. We're hoping and we're rooting for the Moscow police. Sherry Hill says Jennifer Coffendorfer's show with Duty Ron on self-defense was great. So take it from Sherry Hill. Brad Odd, do Tyvek suits come in black? No, not that I'm aware of. I think they only come in one color, and that's white. We need Sherlock Holmes. Well, yeah, we need a break. We need a break in this case. Break in the case. Forensic evidence. How about cell phone evidence, you know? How about interviews, interrogation? How about that tip that's going to give us the necessary information to arrest someone in this case? Andrew DeGroot, good evening. Well, it's not evening here on the East Coast of the U.S. It's daytime. But thank you guys for all. 325 in the chat, 170 with the thumbs up, guys. Elizabeth Gregory loved Jennifer. She's amazing too. Love Jennifer too. I want to have her on more often in 2023. Follow the grain in your own wood. I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been? Were you around last night? Follow the grain in your own wood. I didn't see you on the channel. Elizabeth Gregory, we need Joe Kenda. What makes you think Joe Kenda could solve this? TV? What do you say to Adam? Video just parking or suspicious? I think Adam is a bartender that's friends with the girls. I don't think that he's a suspect. I think the Moscow police have interviewed him. I think they've determined that he's not a suspect at this time. So again, we have all these names. Everyone thought the food truck guy, right, with the hoodie guy at the food truck, that he was a suspect, that he was the perpetrator in the beginning. See how things change? He walked with them to the food truck, which showed that he knew them, you know. So someone that was a suspect in the very beginning is now not a suspect. So you see how things change? I mean, everyone was excited the other day that they recovered this smashed up car in Eugene, Oregon. They smashed up a Hyundai, and they processed it, and they determined it's not the car that they're looking for. And there's certain investigative techniques they use to do that. I hope that they look through the car for forensic evidence like blood and fibers and hair and all that stuff. Father Grain in your own wood is still hanging up Christmas lights. uh, Agatha Mezulek, how frustrating it would be if he's not caught for the next year or two or three. Look, we don't even want to think of that. We talked about that last night. We don't want to hear the word cold case used with this investigation. We want to hear that Diane S. Bill, the witness said, well, I went over that earlier. Could the witnesses, I said that early on in this investigation, they should ask all people they interview to submit a DNA exemplar and major case prints. Can they force them to do that? No, they cannot. They can ask for it. If someone is a suspect and they have probable cause against them, they can take a DNA sample. But if someone is just a potential witness, you can't force them to give DNA. You can ask them, and if they give it voluntarily, fine. If they refuse to give it, that's it. They refuse to give it. You can't force them to do that. But, major case prints and a DNA exemplar is probably a good idea to take from every single witness. Michael Geary, I think the investigation is at the end of the beginning phase, not the beginning of the end. That's a professor speaking for you. He speaks so eloquently. Not every case is solved. This case has to be solved. There is no room for failure in this case. Failure, as you've heard a million times in other cases, failure is not an option. Jean Panic, good day. She loves the show. Thank you so much. Andy the Gabby Cabby is recounting what he said his house was burglarized years ago and the perpetrator wore gloves. Could the perpetrator have been wearing gloves in this case? Absolutely. But again, we don't know if they have fingerprints in the house, if they have DNA. Charlotte Keogh, I think a college kid would have cracked under the pressure by now if this was done in the spur of the moment. Yeah, I somewhat agree with you, but that's why, our opinion, and it's our opinion, I don't speak in absolutes. We think it's someone from the town, someone potentially a little bit older than a student, someone that somehow was enraged by some real or imagined disrespect that went his way by one of the girls. And that is what I am making a prediction on, my hypothesis, my educated guess. But in no way do I think I exclusively have the answers to this. I don't speak in absolutes. I always give a way out, that if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I've been in this business a long enough time to know that predicting who the perp is in a homicide. Joe A67, thank you for the $2 super chat. Mary McElroy, psychopath doesn't crack, cool as a cucumber. Pamela Grunt, I can't help but wonder how this person is out walking around like nothing happened. How does that happen? Well, they're missing that part of their brain that allows them to feel empathy and remorse. They don't feel that. So therefore, they're just going about their life like nothing happened, 394 in the chat, 206 with the thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for coming today for Coffee with Cannon, Backyard Beverage, Bitchin' with Bill, and of course, Police Off the Cuff, Real Crime Stories. It's so great. The show is really growing. We were almost at 40,000, which has been a huge goal for me. I didn't think I would achieve it before the first of the year. I think it's a real possibility now. And it's all because of you guys supporting us. And again, I appreciate you guys so much. Because I went on earlier, I know we had that little disaster when I lost the sound and I had to go back on. I'm going to sign out right now with 30 minutes because combined I did almost 50 minutes. Andy the Gabby Cabby, thank you, buddy. I want to wish everyone a happy holiday. Be safe out there. Have a great day. And thank you so much for all your support from Bill Cannon, Police Off the Cuff. Have a great day, everyone.